Hi, my name is Tina Stasiak, and I would like to talk to you today about integrity versus despair, finding purpose in this life and hope in the next. I recently interviewed Elle as we sat with a friend who was dying of cancer. I knew from past conversations that she had experienced a very disruptive and damaging early life, and I wanted to get a sense of what role faith had played in her ability to endure, heal, find joy, and hope. Although I was surprised and saddened by her answers, I found her to be charming and kind. She engages with the hospice staff, but complains about the service. She's well-dressed and well-traveled. Her daughter and son-in-law take her with them on vacations and have bought her a house and a car. She recently received an inheritance from her first husband when he passed away and is able to frequently take guided tours to various places, spending time with her children, grandchildren, great-grandchild, siblings, and friends. My ultimate impression of Elle was a woman who had moved from one circumstance where she had limited power and tragic events to the next. Her faith is simple. She does believe in Jesus and holds out hope for better circumstances in the next world. Although she feels helpless, she also wishes that she had made better choices herself. She spends what she describes as a lot of time both wishing things had been different and fantasizing about how her life could have been better. Elle was raised in the church. She's an 85-year-old lady, self-described as a survivor. She was born into a family of immigrant farmers, mother from England, father from Sweden. An older brother, 10 at the time of her birth, an older sister, 5 at the time of her birth. Her mother had complications after giving birth to her, and so the family hired a nurse to come and help with the children. The father and the nurse ran away together when Elle was just over 1 year old, and her mother 5 months pregnant with another baby. The father and nurse took the oldest boy with them when they left. The mother struggled to keep the farm for a few years, but crop failures and lack of workforce eventually caused foreclosure. The mother, unable to find work with 3 young girls, was forced to give up her 2 youngest children. The church helped by arranging foster care, where both girls were sexually and physically abused by a pastor who was their foster father, and emotionally and physically neglected by the foster mother. Eventually, they were returned to their mother when she remarried again. Elle was 10. The family stopped attending church at this point, but the mother instilled faith and maintained Bible reading in the home. Elle was sexually promiscuous as a teenager. At age 15, Elle ran off with the first man who paid attention to her. He was physically, emotionally, sexually abusive throughout their marriage, and used religion as a weapon against her. She had broken bones and suffered many internal injuries, although like so many others, she still attended church and was active in the community. She eventually left him and married one of his best friends, a widower who was controlling and financially and emotionally abusive. She lived with him until he passed away 10 years ago. She now lives on her own. She is close with 3 of her 4 children. She has 12 grandchildren, 8 great-grandchildren, and 1 great-grandchild. She enjoys social events at the local seniors drop-in center, playing cards, dancing, crafts, crib tournaments. She attends church with her daughter and son-in-law. She does not participate in volunteer activities outside of driving her friends to and from appointments. She states that she's not good at anything and not good for anything. Elle deeply regrets the choices she made in life. She believes that her life would have been easier if she had not been abandoned by her father, given up by her mother, abused by her foster father, allowing boys to use her as a teen, dropping out of school in grade 9, being beaten and abused by her first husband, tied down with 4 children, and so unable to leave an abusive marriage, forced to marry for financial stability after her divorce, and made to feel obligated to care for her second husband until his death. She blames part of this on social obligations and part on the ability of men to do whatever they please, and part on the church which sets women up to fail in life. She attends church because she feels it's the right thing to do, although she frequently thinks about the what-ifs in life. She has little hope for the future beyond a new life in heaven. And this, I believe, is where God's mercy and grace prevail. Elle, without faith, may be stuck in despair that Erickson points to. With her faith, Her despair is focused solely on this life, and her hope remains in peace, joy, and ease for her suffering in the next. Christianity, I believe, precludes the finality of secular despair. In the end, Elle still has the potential to hear God whisper, "Well done, thou good and faithful servant." Initially, Elle was surprised when I pointed to her life choices leading to her blessings, and how she had a lot to offer on this side of the curtain as well. Perhaps in mentoring younger women who have and are walking through similar circumstances, and that it is not too late to discover joy and purpose. Elle told me she intends to ask her daughter about counseling. My hope is that she will be able to move past despair and find purpose and hope here on earth in the life God has given her to live. Thank you for listening. Blessings.